Howdy folks, welcome to another beautiful day out here in West Vancouver. It's amazing how time is flying, and of course this is our busiest week ever because next week we are going to South Africa for a 3-week trip, and it is actually like, man, there's so much to organize. It's actually, and of course in the busiest week of the year. So I thought in this video I will just talk about a few of the things that we need to get ready, or that you would need to get ready, I suppose, if you're going back to go and visit South Africa from here, or if you're just going on holiday there. So the first one is obviously travel insurance, because since we are not in South Africa anymore, we gave up our South African medical aid plans, which means that if anything happens to us over there, we would need to go to a government hospital. And believe you me, the last place you want to end up in South Africa, in a hospital, in an emergency situation, or if you have a problem, accident or anything, is a government hospital. There are some good ones, but the likelihood is that, you know, people go to those to die often. So we would need to take out travel insurance. So obviously we're going to check some of the credit cards. I need to now go through everything and figure out, do we need to buy additional travel insurance, or do we need to I think the credit card that we bought the tickets on might be giving us travel insurance, but I also need to check what the value of that travel insurance is, and does it cover medical emergencies? You know, in South Africa we were on a medical aid plan with Discovery, and from there, if we traveled, we just went and did our thing, because Discovery covers you for 3 months outside of South Africa. No matter what happens, if there's a medical emergency, they will come and fetch you and fix you. Now, the Canadian healthcare system does not do the same. Even if I drive across to the US and I hurt myself there, Canada's healthcare system is a national healthcare system. They don't care. They're not going to help you out. So technically, I know a lot of people over here that actually, when they go across to the US, they take out travel insurance for if there's a medical emergency, especially for the US, because their medical is super expensive. Anyway, so we need to get medical and travel insurance. That's the first thing that we still need to sort out this week. The second thing we need to sort out this week is we need to let our credit card companies know, and our debit card, our banks basically, that we will be traveling, so that our cards will work when we get to South Africa. That's not a major thing, but I mean, it's still something on the list that needs to get done. And then the third thing we need to do is obviously to go and figure out some sort of way to stay connected while we are there, because if you travel to if you travel out of the country with your Shaw or your Rogers mobile plan, and you land anywhere outside the US or Canada, man, the data charges, or the roaming data charges, are just absolutely nuts. I mean, it's something like $5 a megabyte or something stupid, you know. So you can quickly run into data issues if you travel and you don't make a plan. So there's a couple of programs that I'm looking at. There's on the new iPhones, so on the iPhones we can stick in what they call a digital SIM, so have a secondary SIM only for data. And there's a couple of tools that you can purchase where you can, you know, SIM cards, digital SIM cards for international travel, and they would give you like unlimited data for $20 a day or something, which is actually ridiculously expensive, so we're not even going to go there. The other option is to take a digital SIM. There's a few that will give you some, there's a whole price range, but it is actually quite ridiculously expensive. The other option is to maybe just switch off damn roaming and not roam. But again, you know, if you're in South Africa and you need to make a phone call, or you need to find a place and need a map, then you got to do it. Over here you obviously have lots of hotspots and data places that you can connect to. In South Africa it's not that much, although you can obviously go to restaurants and places like that and connect to their Wi-Fi and actually have access to the internet. So I still need to consider that. The other option is to, when we get to South Africa, to just purchase local data SIM cards. But I'm not sure actually, if anybody knows, it would be great if you can let me know, if South Africa has digital data SIMs, because then we can use the digital SIM as a second SIM on our phones. So how that works, the digital SIM, from what I can understand, is that you have your actual SIM card, and then you can put a second SIM with a different number in there, and you can do the settings that allows the one SIM to do your phone calls and stuff, and the other SIM to handle your data if you need to connect. Because the problem is with these phones today, they're super data hungry. The other day I went to the US and I connected to the US mobile network before I managed to upgrade so that I can do the US roaming. I actually sent a message to do that. Belinda called in and she upgraded me so that I can do US roaming at a single price. And it was like literally 5 to 10 minutes that I was connected under data roaming, and it just charged $50 worth of data. I mean, it's not like I was doing anything. It's just random stuff that updates, and it's like the data is so expensive. I mean, $50 of data on roaming is like, it's a few seconds. So that is actually a big thing that I need to look into. How the hell am I going to get our phones connected in South Africa without breaking the bank? Probably the best idea is to just go and buy local SIMs. But I mean, we also don't want to switch off our current phone numbers and WhatsApp and everything that we connected to. Any which way, it is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. I'll let you know if I find a great solution. If you have any suggestions, please drop it in the comments. I mean, I'd love to know what other people have used. So that's the third thing I need to sort out, our phones or our connectivity for the travel. The fourth thing we need to get together is obviously we managed to secure US visa interviews at the US Embassy in South Africa. So we need to redo all the paperwork for the kids' visa applications. We're just going to process it through South Africa. And that's actually a very good piece of advice. If you are coming from South Africa or from a different country to Canada and you wish to go to the US, right now, your best bet is to apply for your US visa while you are still there, because you cannot actually get it done in Canada. Can't. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is we need to make arrangements for somebody to look after the house, because we're not here, and I've got all my little garden out here. I mean, everything is going to die if it doesn't get watered at least twice a day. We need, or every 2 days. We need somebody to... I'm going to set up cameras, obviously, because we are going to be away, and there has been some vagrants floating around here. We've already had 2 cases. Now we've got a couple of video cameras. We've got the doorbell cams, and we've got a couple of other cameras around the house. But I'm obviously going to have to add a few more cameras just to make sure that the whole place is secure and that nobody can get in here while we are gone. It's set the alarm off, and at least we can call the cops even if we are in South Africa, and at least alert the neighbors that if there's some prowler over here and the alarm goes off, please come and help. So we need to get that done. Connor is going for his driver's test on Monday. Angelique is away at camp. Connor is volunteering this whole week for 4.5 hours a day at the Harmony Arts Festival. So it's just like a lot of stuff that needs to happen. But, we just got to make it happen. Guess that is the only thing we can do. Any which way, folks, so if you have any advice on travel insurance, please drop it in the comments for me. If you have any advice on cell phones, please drop it in the comments for me. And then Belinda said, for the guys back in South Africa, if you have any advice on cool things to do again. It's been a while since we were there. We would still want to go and experience a few things. I'm sure the family will show us. So if you have any advice on that, let us know. That's it. You all must have a good one. Cheers.